Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own tea blend for Beltane, otherwise known as May Day. Now, I have chosen to do a blend that is particularly going to be favorable in attracting the fae, i.e. the wee folk, little people, fairies, good folk, she, etc. Now, the reason I'm choosing to particularly target the fae with this tea blend is because traditionally, speaking in folklore, the fae were supposed to become even more active on the night of Beltane and following through the eve of Samhain. So, if you're wanting to attract the fae, a great way to do this is to make your own tea blend to attract them, and what you would do is brew this before any type of ritual, meditation, or even before going to sleep at night if you're particularly wanting to have dreams of the fae or ask them to come into your dreams. So, let's get started. With any basic tea blend, you're going to want to have your base ingredient. Now, why I call it a base ingredient is because it's going to pretty much be your base. Like, think of it as a pyramid. Okay, so you're gonna have your base ingredient that is kind of the boundary or the base for building on top of. Okay, so I chose lemon balm as my base ingredient, and this is just from Mountain Rose Herbs. But lemon balm, if you're not familiar with it, is in the mint family, but it has a very citrusy lemon scent to it. So we're gonna use that as our base ingredient. And to be honest with you guys, I never do like measurements. I just eye it. Okay, and I only want about an ounce of this, so this is going to be enough right here. Okay. Now, as lemon balm is somewhat of a mild sedative, this is a perfect tea to drink before any type of dream work on Beltane night. Okay, so we have our base ingredient. And we're going to build on top of that now. Now we're going to add our complementing teas or flavors or herbs, what have you, to it. And these particular herbs, my complementing herbs, are herbs that are directly associated with the fae in folklore. Now, pretty much, if you don't have these ingredients, you can make it what you want it to be, because in my honest opinion, the fae love pretty much every plant there is known to man. So you can't really go wrong. If you want to make this your own and substitute with other things, then you can. So we have our lemon balm as our base. Now we're going to add our complementing flavors. Now, I have chosen thyme, which in folklore has way been associated with the fae for many, many years. And I'm only going to add a very little bit of this because it's more of a culinary herb, just in my opinion. The flavor of it is more, it's really good for cooking, not so much for drinking. So I just added a wee bit of that just to kind of get the essence of it in there. Okay, so now we have our lemon balm and thyme. And you can use a spoon if you like to mix it. I just kind of use my hands after you've washed them, of course. Okay, and while you're doing this, you want to be thinking about your intent. You want to be focusing on the reason why you're putting this tea together, and that's really going to put the magic into it. Okay, so next we're going to go with elderflower. And elderflower is another traditional herb in the fae realm. The reason for this is because the elder tree was a sacred tree to the Celtic people. And also, it's said that in Ireland and other places in Europe, if an elder tree is cut down, that it could anger the wee folk. And in certain cases, they will, even to this day, the people will commission, construction and things like that, not to cut down certain elder trees because they don't want to anger the good folk. So I'm gonna add a little more. And if you've ever smelled elderflower, it's kind of like a, not musky scent, it's a sweet scent. It kind of reminds me a little bit of chamomile, but it has a little bit of a different flavoring to it. So now we have our lemon balm, thyme, and elderflower. Okay. Next I'm going to add hawthorn berries. And hawthorn is another one of the sacred Celtic trees. If you've ever heard the term oak, ash, and thorn, thorn is actually short for hawthorn. And so that is another tree that is also sacred to the Fae. I'm just going to mix that up with my hands. Okay, so now we have our base ingredient, which was lemon balm, a little bit of thyme, a good amount of elderflower, and some hawthorn berries. All of these plants are favored by the Fae, so you can't go wrong with these at all. Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay. And I'm going to add 2 more things just for the heck of it because I just want to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to add some almonds, some all-natural almonds. Now if you're allergic to nuts, obviously you don't want to do this. But it's said by certain people that nuts are a good offering for the Fae. So it can't hurt to add something to your tea that the Fae particularly like. And then we just mix it again. Okay, and in addition to this, you can add some stevia to sweeten this a little bit. But if you really want to go all out for the Fae, you want to add some honey and some milk because those two are also traditional offerings to the Fae in Ireland, Scotland, England, etc. So this is our tea for Beltane. Okay, and like I said, you can substitute with anything you want. You can add dried blueberries, apples, although apples are more like for the fall, but strawberries. Really, like I said, the Fae are all over the world and they love all different kinds of plants, so you can't go wrong with making any type of tea blend for Beltane. You can drink it before ritual, during ritual, after ritual, and even before bed if you're wanting to particularly draw them into your dreams. But just make sure that if you're drinking it before bed, it doesn't have any caffeine, i.e. like some type of black or green tea as your base. So there it is, folks. Hope you enjoyed.